Hey guys, Coach Julian here. In this video, I'm going to go through the top AI artificial intelligence ETFs. So to find these ETFs, I use my YCharts tool, the fund screener tool. I looked at all exchange traded funds in the technology sector. I pulled them out, and the top ones turns out are semiconductor ones, so really into the AI space. A few pieces of information that I added in order to compare these ETFs. One is obviously the ticker and the name, and then there's a total assets under management. I have a preference for larger ETFs because more of a proven track record. I look at the year-to-date return, so that means the return since January of 2024, average annual return over 3 years, and the average annual return over 5 years, and the net expense ratio. I always like to keep an eye on the expense ratio. I like to know what the costs are when I'm investing in something. So the first one, SMH, Vanex Semiconductor, a beast, $22 billion beast, 46% year to date, 27, almost 28% annual return over 3 years, and almost 38% over 5 years with an expense ratio of 0.35%. And you'll see why. SOX, SOXX, iShares Semiconductor ETF, $15 billion giant, 27% year to date, 20% over 3 years average, and 32% annual average over 5 years with a 0.35% expense ratio. PSI, a smaller one, Invesco Semiconductors, under $1 billion, 23% year to date, 14% annual return over 3 years, and 29% over 5 years, 0.57% expense ratio. As the fund is smaller, the expense ratio gets higher for the same management. FTXL, First Trust NASDAQ Semiconductor ETF, $1.6 billion of assets under management. It's got 20% yield year to date, 15% average annual yield over the last 3 years, 26% over 5 years, 0.6% expense ratio. XSD, which is SPDR S&P Semiconductor ETF, $1.5 billion assets under management, 11% return year to date, 11% return annually over 3 years, 25.6% over 5 years, and 0.35% net expense ratio. Those are just the top 5. By the way, guys, if you want access to the full sheet, because there's 127 of them here, I'm going to make it available in the description of the video below. I'm going to add a link. It gets you to a form that you fill out, and then you'll have access to the Google Sheet. So if you want that, you can find it there. And I sorted everything under the annualized 5-year total return. Okay. Why 5 years? Because I like ETFs that have a really good and long track record. This is 5 years, pretty good period to judge it by. Almost 38% over 5 years. That's really incredible. So I sorted everything by that, and this is what came up. You could sort it as you want in your spreadsheet. If you prefer year to date or 3 years or assets under management, do whatever you want. But if we take a closer look at SMH, what a curve, eh? Since October 2022, look at that, it's incredible. But the devil's in the details here, because the top 10 holdings here is NVIDIA. Look at that, almost 25% weight. That's a lot of weight. That's a quarter of the exposure is NVIDIA. And for me, that's too high. For me, that's just too high, just because if something would happen to NVIDIA, the CTF would suffer the consequences. So to me, it's a little bit too exposed. But for some people, if you want to be in semiconductor, if you want to be in the AI space and not be, reduce and not, buy NVIDIA directly, but have some higher exposure in NVIDIA, this could be a good play for you. The next one is SOX. Let's take a look. So you see NVIDIA here already is lower at 11%, and then the next one up is Broadcom at 8%. So already a little more diversified. It's got a pretty nice track record. I like this one. PSI is the smaller one, Invesco Semiconductors ETF. And here you can see that they've capped the weight of any given stock at around 5%. So, as NVIDIA climbs up, it kind of sells them and then redistributes. So in order to not have overexposure in any one stock. So I kind of like this. If I'd want to invest in the AI space without having too much exposure in any given stock, this one is a good one. And if you take a look at the performance over 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years, it's nice. I like it. I like this one. FTXL, take a look at this. Yeah, it's a bit like the other one where NVIDIA is 11%, and the runner-up is Qualcomm at 9.5%, and then 8.14. So it's got a little bit more exposure on NVIDIA. And then there's this one, XSD, which is also well diversified. So NVIDIA is not even the top holding. So it's at 3.59%. First Solar is higher at 4.49%. Well diversified. Take a look at the performance: 11, 11, 25.6. So nice performance over year to date, 3 years and 5 years. I like this. I like this one personally. This one is one that I would take a closer look at because it's got good amount of assets and management. It's got a good track record, and the expense ratio is a little on the low end compared to the other top performers. So that's just me, but do your own research and or get the opinion of a professional, or you go out and make an investment, and you'll find these in the Excel. Take a look, do your research, see which ones you prefer. I just gave you the top 5 that I find are interesting to look at. Yeah, so that's it, guys. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel because I have more stuff coming your way. Don't forget to download that Excel by filling the form. The link is in the description of the video, and book a one-on-one with me if you have any questions on ETF stocks, a business decision that you have to take, you want to bounce with me. Feel free to book a one-on-one with me. There's a link to my Calendly in the description of the video. Thanks for watching today, guys, and we'll see you real soon.